Hey everybody, welcome to the show where everybody's retarded except for me. I'm here. I'm Jables Boogly, and Rimshee just walked off because he has to take care of kiddo. Sir is also here, and I'm fucking mad.
I am back after 2 weeks.
Yeah, welcome back.
The first week I was inflicted with plague and sounded like I smoked an entire cigarette factory, so I didn't do the show.
No.
And then this week was a concert that I had to go to. Well, I didn't have to go, but I said I was going to go, so I went.
I would have dipped out for a concert too. I don't blame you. Who'd you go see?
It was a Cheap Trick.
Oh, nice. I like Cheap Trick.
It was an okay time.
Is it okay? All right. You know, I'd rather an okay time with friends.
Old Robin does not have it anymore.
Ooh, that's sad to hear.
Yeah,
for
it's cool
everyone in
you're
the
still
audience,
out there, buddy, but you can't sing anymore. I'm sorry.
for everyone in the audience, I'm gonna be moving around and like adjusting shit because I showed up here like right on time because I almost got hit by a car because people drive fucking retarded. Yeah. So I need to adjust this light real quick.
And people that are potentially watching were thinking they were having a bad day. Well, don't you feel silly now? I don't know. I don't actually know what your day is like.
Yeah, I don't know and I don't care. I hope your day's going well, but I don't care that. Your day's going shitty, then welcome to the show. Have fun. So,
forget about your problems listening to us, bitch.
Well, we almost didn't have the show, too, so there's that, because,
yeah.
Comcast is a bitch.
That's your
I haven't had that great of a day either
Comcast
today. It's really the only option I have in my area, unfortunately.
Yeah. Yeah, there's two things that are like the only options in my area that I fucking hate. It's Comcast and the suicide hotline. And
Hello there, buddy.
My dad just got here. There might be dog wheeler.
I'm cool with dogs.
Yeah, I've got Comcast, but it's better than the alternative for me, which the other major alternative is AT&T, and their internet service is ass.
Yeah, Rimshee and I were talking about this yesterday. My other alternative is CenturyLink, and it's 1/10 of the speed that Comcast gives me at Comcast's lowest package.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's not technically a monopoly, but come on. It's a fucking monopoly. We don't have a fucking choice.
Sorry about that. That was the fire department.
Wait, the fire department called you?
Yeah.
Did you leave that window open again?
No. Not that
Just
anyone's
checking in,
watching
making
right
sure
now.
you're okay?
Yeah, making sure I'm still alive.
Yeah.
Because, yeah,
That's nice.
not like anyone's watching us, but if you're watching on VOD, I had a wonderful morning. I've been up since 4 in the morning.
Yeah, me too.
On a Sunday. Yeah, you made the mistake of waking up thinking you had work.
I slept so well, I thought it was Monday. Because for the first time in a month, I've been able to sleep in my own fucking bed.
Yeah, it happens.
For those in the audience, I've been having back issues, so I've been sleeping on the floor on like camping mats and stuff. It does help. And it finally got to a point where I could sleep in my own bed again. And I slept so well. I thought I slept through Sunday and didn't even give a fuck about missing the show.
But I woke up to the carbon monoxide alarm going off. So, had to get my wife up, had to get my kid up at 4 in the morning and go into, and I know there are some people out there that are going to go, oh, that's not cold. But for here it is, had to go into 37-degree weather. Because we had fucking, I mean, what do you want me to tell you? We had a CO2, a carbon monoxide alarm. We're not awake. We're having to drag the. Go ahead.
Now I could be the guy that's like, fucker, I don't even put my shirt on to get the mail at 37 degrees.
Yeah, but around here that is cold, and I have a wife who is very sensitive to cold, and a son who is 3.
Yeah.
I could give a fuck about me. I could walk around out there, no problem.
My mom's exothermic. Like,
I believe that.
She is literally a non-warm-blooded mammal. She used to visit tanning beds just because they were warm. The tan was just a bonus.
Yeah. Well, anyway, I had to call 911 because carbon monoxide alarm. And,
it's
it's 2 of the carbon monoxide alarms going off. So it's not like it was one that was bad. It was both of the alarms going off. So we went outside. Called 911. Fire department showed up. I'm sitting there going, I have no idea what could possibly be leaking carbon monoxide. The stove is off. The furnace is not running. It's off. We don't have a fire in the fireplace. I do know that probably the best thing I can do is open up some windows to get some airflow through the house. I noticed one of my windows is slightly open. I'm like, oh, I forgot to close that, but I guess I'll just open it more. You'd think that would make it so that it dissipates more. Fire department comes out with their sniffer, and they're sniffing around the entire house. This absolute dead zone in the basement. There is no carbon monoxide down there. It's reading straight zeros across the board down in the basement. Straight, very, very minimal background noise in the kitchen and all that, all those rooms. But the moment you get to the stairwell and you go upstairs to the room that had that open window that I mentioned earlier, that's where they start getting the signal. So,
yeah,
we lost power yesterday. And we got power back at about 6, but the neighbors across the creek were still without power, and I don't know, maybe they are still without power to this point in time. I'm not entirely sure. I'm checking. But they had a generator that was running, and apparently it was such a calm night because a storm had just passed through that the exhaust was able to drift across the creek right into that open window and just flood the house.
Yeah. You should have a talk with that neighbor. Have them like set up a fan or something next to their generator.
Well, if I had kept the window closed, it would have been fine.
I don't know, for future reference. Maybe the power will go out when it's hot out and you have the window open. You know.
Yeah, we just won't leave that window open.
Yeah.
Also, it was just the, it was the fact that it was such a calm fucking night. It wasn't just like, hey, it's a windy night and it's going, they've got the fucking thing straight into our window. It had to have drifted across 200-300 feet into the window. Yeah. So it was just these are the very specific circumstances that allowed this to happen. And yeah, the fire department was gone. Did you have any other issues? Are you still alive?
Well, if I may take a moment to be profoundly gay, I would just like to say that I am deeply thankful that my dear friend Rimshee and his family did not go into the forever boxes.
Yeah, I think the Marine Corps still requires us to fill out paperwork for that one, so I'd be pulled right back out. I'm out. I have no contract anymore. I'm pretty sure they still require paperwork.
Yeah, there's something. There's got to be something. It's the fucking government.
But yeah, it looks like those neighbors have power again, so that's cool. Yeah, the reason we're running late.
You didn't even tell the most fucked up part. The entire time you were without power, you had internet, and then when you got power back, you didn't have internet, which is why we're late today.
Entirely true. I lost internet about 3 hours before we got power back. Yeah. But I was at a party for most of that time.
Yeah.
But I was about to get to that because the internet being out is why we are late. It's exactly why we're late in doing this.
Yeah.
But it all worked out.
Yeah.
I guess. Other good news.
I'm not dead.
On my end,
we're here. I guess dreams don't come true.
Yeah. In other good news, I am now the regular host again. Yay.
Hooray!
That whole situation is kind of hilarious.
Yeah, I had a good talk with the owners of the club to like really explain like my side of the situation, where none of the other comedians felt like they had a voice, but I could because I don't need this. I like this. And so they understood it from that point because nobody else can speak out because they need to be able to work there. I don't need it. I'm fine. Other comedians like me, I could have gotten a hosting job somewhere else. It's fine. So, but yeah. So that's nice.
Glad you got that worked out, buddy.
I'm just happy that I'm like respected in the local comedy community. It's very nice. That touches my heart.
Jeff just posted a new video, but at least he's not live streaming this time.
It's always Jeff. It's always Jeff.
Yeah, I don't care.
Who dare?
Who where?
Who phone? Who this?
This is Skupper.
Oh, hey, Skupp.
Oh, it's a Skupp. Hi, Skupp.
It's a school.
Sorry,
were you here to listen to the carbon monoxide story?
Oh, is it carbon monoxide or is it dicarbon monoxide?
Carbon monoxide. If you didn't hear the story, I'll tell you after there.
It was caused by dicarbon monoxide.
So what happened? What happened?
I'll tell you after, because I've already explained it on stream.
Yeah, we just went through it, Skupp. So.
Okay, well, fair enough. I'm sorry to hear that you had a little CO disaster. Those are never fun. And at least you had the alarms in place and all of the stuff that probably saved you and made it safe for you. So, because I think you're the kind of guy that would do that.
You're right. Rimshee is very responsible.
Daisy Luna, maybe. I don't know. If you're cool in the chat, then maybe. You can get my follow back. Alright.
I was just messing around with a lighter with a piezoelectric ignition, and I just shocked the fuck out of my finger.
Right. Let's let's talk about one of our topics. First topic. So what
Yes,
you're seeing
second.
playing in the background is Rimshee playing a VR game. And one thing I noticed is you don't notice how much your friend's head moves when they're just looking around than when you see VR playback.
Yeah. At the end of this, if you watch, I even used, or I tried using some image stabilization stuff as a plugin for OBS, and I don't know if it just didn't work or what the deal was.
This seems more stable and less herky-jerky than the video that you sent me. So,
This is the video I sent you. This is part of it.
yeah.
I'll tell you what, that looks pretty interesting.
That fishing game?
Yeah.
It's called, actually, why don't I just send you the link, to the Steam link? I'm pretty sure it's free to play if you've got VR. Just hook it up to Steam and do all that shit, which you already have.
Yeah,
already know
I think
that.
you and I have the same setup, I think, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, I hit level, I think, 11 in this, which opens up a lot of gear to me. But what's cool about this game is, if you're playing with other people, you don't have to compete for fish, because the fish spawned in the lake for you are the same fish that are spawned in the lake for you alone. Anyone else playing on that same level has completely separate fish.
That's cool. Because the last time I went fishing, I was on a lake called Blue Lake up in the Sierra Nevadas.
Mm-hmm.
And there was a lightning storm while we were out in the middle of the lake on an aluminum boat. And we were like, let's not be in the middle of the lake in an aluminum boat in a lightning storm.
That sounds like a great idea. I don't know what you're talking about.
So we like paddled over and like climbed up a cliff, and like it was pretty good.
I remember being in middle school, and we had baseball practice, and a thunderstorm decided to roll through while we were at practice, so everyone had to get underneath the trees. And we're a bunch of idiot middle schoolers, so we started running out onto the field with our aluminum bats held up in the air like absolute dumbasses.
Yeah.
The coach yelled at us.
That's actually how a friend of my
if you
dad
couldn't guess.
died, unfortunately. He had been out fishing, and he had his hand on his truck, and it got struck.
Yeah, that's pretty rough.
Yeah, that's not fun at all.
Yeah. Light and don't fuck around.
Electricity doesn't either.
Yeah, Dad's told me a few horror stories about electricity.
Oh, my dad told me a story. He was like working on some shit with a friend of his, and he was like cutting some metal rod or something. It's like a thin metal, like I think it was like aluminum rod or something. And as my dad like pulled it out and was working on cutting it, it was small enough to fit into an electrical socket, and my dad's friend just sort of like moved it into that and electrocuted my dad. Well, shocked my dad. Not electrocuted. Yeah. Electrocuted means he died.
That's good. I'm glad
that's
you
something
know
people. Yeah. That's something people get wrong all the time. I was electrocuted. No, you weren't. Yeah,
no,
I was. Weren't. No, you weren't. Yeah,
got a pretty good shot.
How you weren't there? How do you know? Because you're here.
Yeah, you're here talking to me. So you obviously
electrocuted is a past tense word.
Yes, it is.
Yeah. You got a nasty shock.
The nastiest shock I ever got.
Electrocuted is still a past tense word, because you never know for sure until after the fact.
I got 208 once, face to face. That was the nastiest shock I've ever got.
Yeah, like one of the horror stories my dad told me about is that he was in a shop, and the guy forgot to take his wedding ring off.
Oh.
Said it sounded like a 45 went off.
Yeah.
And they were just little balls of gold all around the shop.
Yeah, the one that I got was it was actually it didn't hit me all the way because I had a screwdriver in my hand that was insulated, or at least, mostly insulated. It was kind of messed up. It's like you should use this is NFPA 70E material right here, the safety one. But I took the damaged insulated screwdriver, went in, started kind of poking around in the wires, and a rat had chewed on 2 of the wires. So as my hand was
rodent bastard.
Rodent bastards, man. It arced out and it went to me, and that was that. And I was like, well, this sucks. Ow, that hurt. All right, next, now I gotta fix this. So I did.
Hey, Daisy Luna, if you're still here, I did follow you back on X. It's Twitter. We'll call it Twitter. Because you have really good work. So I might commission you for something in the future.
I've fortunately avoided like a lot of electrical mishaps. Like the worst thing that ever happened to me involved an electric fly swatter.
I love those things. I love those things so much.
I have been hit by 120 and 277. But on the 277, I was hit on the neutral, so it wasn't that bad. And on top of that, it was also induced voltage, so...
Did you throw your pliers in?
Something got...
No, I nearly threw myself off a ladder, though.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah, like something got into the mesh of the fly swatter, and I was trying to remove it, and I did not press the button, but there must have been a residual charge in the wires. Says it discharged into my arm, and like my whole arm went numb for a second, and I think my heart might have skipped. But it's like, I'm okay.
Yeah, I was a kid. I played with fire a little bit, but what was worse was I played with electricity a bit more.
I'll admit that
as a little boy, I played with fire. Shocker.
Yeah. I can teach you guys how to...
Hey man, melted ballpoint pens was cool.
Well, my dad worked at a prison, so he taught me how to make like a lot of improvised weapons. Just sort of like the techniques that would be used to make an improvised weapon, and then you can
activities.
And then you can, I mean, the techniques for making improvised weapons, those can be taken for like any material. You can use that. Like I turned a pine cone into a knife one time.
Oh yeah.
I also, this one time at church camp, somebody broke like their disposable camera, and the charge was flashed. Sorry, the flash was charged, and
the charge was flashed.
Yeah, I misspoke. Fucking idiot.
That charge got an eyeful.
Yeah, the flash was charged, and as it turns out, if the flash is charged, you can turn a disposable camera into a taser. So...
Yes. I actually would do that at church camp too. I would get all the kids disposable cameras after they had shot them all up, and I'll be like, "Let me just take the film out." They're like, really? Because that's cheaper than developing a whole disposable camera. And I'd be like, I know. And so I just wind up the film because I know how a camera works. And like, there's a little thing on the bottom where you do that on those guys. And then I'd actually charge up the capacitors, then remove them from the board without bridging connections. And I would put them in kids' sleeping bags. Like 7 or 8 of them. So they'd go in and they'd be like, ooh,
You're a monster.
ooh, ah.
These kids had it coming.
They really did. They really did. I know. They really did have it coming. This is not the standard iteration of
Man. Part of my
Honestly, the
childhood
craziest
was
part
growing up in
about
some
that was he always got the
trailer parks.
scrotum.
Sorry, sir. What was that? I couldn't hear you because Rimshee just sort of chimed in, and
I said part of my childhood was growing up in trailer parks.
yeah.
And you get into all kinds of antics if you're bored in a shitty trailer park.
Oh, I know.
Like, one of our favorite activities is, like, finding those cheap plastic lighters and throwing them at the ground as hard as we could because they would explode.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, and if you hit it just right, the flint would spark and it would be a fireball. Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Mm-hmm. I remember one afternoon we just found somebody's can of gas sitting on the sidewalk, and we just took it.
Yep.
Finding an old can of spray paint, a t-shirt, and a piece of wood, and making an Indiana Jones torch out of it to explain explore the drainage tunnel.
Well,
hell yeah.
We found a rusted out fucking dirt bike in there.
I spent a lot of time grounded in my. Once I hit like double digits, I started getting grounded a lot. Not because I was doing like terrible stuff. It was just like repeated instances of me being a little shit. And so I spent a lot of time looking up on the internet how to like learning how to make mustard gas and napalm. And really just going through the whole anarchist cookbook.
I get the feeling that at some point maybe a younger person might watch this and it's like, wait, they went outside and did things? Who are these people?
I wanted to go outside. Instead, I just like. I wasn't just like degenerate learning how to make war crimes. I also learned how to play guitar, and I read a lot of books.
Yeah, I read a lot of books. I read a lot of books when I was growing up.
Yeah.
They're mostly manuals on like how to repair things.
I would just take things apart. Like if we had something that was just like gonna be thrown away, I would just take it apart and try to figure out what was going on the insides.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's getting thrown out anyway. Who cares if it's whole or in pieces?
No.
I'm so excited today, gentlemen. And let me tell you why. My bathroom and my kitchen are getting grouted.
Nice.
That means
Very nice.
I begin to use both my bathroom and my kitchen again.
Nice. I'm excited because I slept in my bed for the first time in a month this weekend.
Nice.
I'm excited because I came up with an idea for outside VR. It's an outside simulator.
Huh?
Nice. We had something in topics that you wanted to talk about, Rimshee.
Yeah, Fahrenheit?
Yeah, we can do that.
What about Fahrenheit?
We love it.
Yeah, we're
So-
not the international community with their Celsius nonsense.
So what originally brought this on, this specific conversation on, Jables and I were just shooting the shit because I forget what exactly we were talking about.
We were talking about stuff in
But,
Jeff's server, and then it just turned into shooting the shit.
Yeah, which it always does. But Fahrenheit, we were talking about, like, Fahrenheit is nicer for telling difference in body temperature and specifically weather in terms of how it relates to us. Whereas Celsius is better for more empirical data type stuff, such as actually doing measurements.
Y2K and W, you're part of the fucking problem. Fahrenheit is for the people. That's what the F stands for. For the people. It stands for freedom for the people.
America!
Fuck yeah.
Yeah.
Going around.
So for every degree of Celsius, for every degree of Celsius, it covers right around 2.25 degrees of Fahrenheit. There's a lot more granularity there. You have a lot more divisions to be able to be a lot more accurate with it in terms of, 5 degrees is more comfortable when it's up, by comparison. Not 5 degrees ambient, just like, hey, it's 60 versus 65. There's a definitive difference there. Although I'll say, once you've been sitting outside in 37-degree weather, 57 feels pretty warm.
Yes, it does.
Yeah, you know, like, Skupp is probably aware because he's been to places around the country where it gets significantly cold. But yeah, it's like after a point, it's like, you know, it's like every 10 degrees feels significantly colder than the last, and that gradually becomes every 5 degrees feels significantly colder than the last.
Yeah, like I think. Well, the difference between like 45 and 40 Fahrenheit is whether or not I brace myself. You know.
Well, I mean, like, that's the other thing. It's like, you got to look at earthquakes too. Aren't they measured in orders of magnitude versus like a finite graph?
Yeah, it's a logarithmic. No, not logarithmic. Multiplicative? I forget the exact term. But yeah,
right, yeah.
It's like it's something like every step up is double the previous or something like
to
that.
the power of 10 or something like that. I don't know.
Yeah, it's to the power of 10.
Yeah.
Exponential. That's the term I'm looking for.
Yeah, exponents. There we go. That's the one. Yes.
That's why magnitude 3, like, you kind of notice it, and then like you get to 5, and it's like, oh man, that was actually some significant shaking. And then for a lot of places, you get to a 7, it's like the world is fucking ending.
Or you're in California and you don't notice a 3. You feel a 5, and you're like, oh, okay. You feel a 6 or a 7, and you're like, okay, time to move this outside.
Yeah, exactly. A 6 or a 7. We had a little bit of a roller the other day, and I got the alert on my phone. And,
so did I.
I was like, hey, Nikki, you should stand in the doorway. And he's like, why? And like, we had the toilet off in the bathroom too. So like, I was in the bathroom doorway and he was in the bedroom doorway, which are right next to each other. And you could hear the pipes in the ground flexing as it rolled. And he's like, hey, I kind of feel like I'm drunk. And I'm like, yeah, that's because the ground is rolling beneath you.
Yeah. And
just move to the doorway. Why? Because that's what we're supposed to do.
Yeah.
Y2K, no one gives a shit if it's 67 or 68 Fahrenheit. Yeah. Nobody gives a shit if it's 19 or 20. Here's the thing. If it's 0 degrees Fahrenheit, it's fucking cold. If it's 100 degrees Fahrenheit, it's fucking hot. 67, you're in the clear. Like, it's pretty nice.
Yeah.
I see a working temperature if you ask
Fahrenheit
me.
is for the people.
If I could live in a place where it stayed in like the low to mid 70s at all times, that'd be okay with me.
Go to Ecuador.
No.
You could live in a place in America where it's like that.
Also, the fact that after a certain point, once you get into the negative temperatures, Celsius and Fahrenheit are essentially the same.
Yeah, that's part of what sparked the conversation. Was
negative 40 is negative 40. Period.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
And
like,
after negative 40, the Fahrenheit temperatures are negatively high, so like technically lower. I don't know how to.
Inversely
express that.
proportional.
Sure.
I actually saw a pretty interesting YouTube video recently called Fear of Cold.
Yeah.
You guys should check that out. Just type in Fear of Cold on YouTube. You should find the video. It's really interesting.
All right.
Well, part of what brought this up is part of what
He was
brought
basically
this
talking
up
about
is
using cold as like a horror concept, or like the horror concept of cold and why it's scary.
Okay.
Yeah, anyway, part of what brought this up was the fact that when we were looking up what was the source of 0 Fahrenheit? Why was that that specific temperature made 0 Fahrenheit? What's it based on? Turns out it's based on a solution of brine made from a mixture of water, ice, and ammonium chloride. How the fuck do you have a brine mixture that includes ice? If it's the freezing point of that when it's already got ice in it.
I'm just gonna add this to the.
I'm gonna have to go with Jables on this one and say it's the people's measurement. That's why.
Yeah. Yeah. Y2K 0 Fahrenheit equals no rational context. No, 0 Fahrenheit is this sucks.
Yeah.
It is. Well,
100 degrees Fahrenheit is also this sucks.
I'm putting the video in during show for anybody that wants to look at it later.
Cool. Yeah. Yeah, rank your like favorite movie from 0 to 100. Or like it's a spectrum. 0, it fucking sucks. 100, it fucking sucks. You want to be around like 50, 60.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a spectrum, just like the one Jables is on.
Yeah, 69 degrees is a perfect temperature. That's what I set all my heaters at.
That's what I set my heater to as well.
Yeah.
I can't do odd numbers, otherwise I would too.
My parents always set the house to 68, and I would always turn it up to 69 when we were living in a house at Central Air. I was like, it's 1 degree. It's not going to make that much of a difference on the electric bill.
Yeah. Yep. Our setup is it's 70 during the winter and 75 during the summer.
Oh, I do the opposite. I'm 70 during the winter and 62 to 60. 62 is the lowest my AC goes. But I want to get it 60 degrees during the summer.
I wish I could afford that.
I like a nice cool house during the summer.
If I did that, my electric bill would be like $1,300 a month.
I don't pay for electricity.
Me personally, I can stand like the internal house temperature on the thermostat getting up to 80 before I feel the need to turn the air on.
Yeah. So
Because I can
Wait,
subsist
why
sitting
2K
under fans before that.
Y2K, you say you have no context for 100 degrees. It's just hot. It's like 37.
Fucking hot.
It's like 38 degrees Celsius. So the context for 100 degrees Fahrenheit is, fuck, it's hot today.
Or you're 100 degrees is close to the limit a human being can handle in terms of body temperature.
Yeah. I lived in an area where I would regularly get up to like 110, 120 during the summer. Fucking sucked.
Yeah. And if there's high humidity, it's
Oh, it's even worse. It's even
That
worse.
was the only thing I was grateful for, is that we didn't have humidity. It's one of my. I grew up in an area that's geologically designated a high desert, and yeah, I'm just so glad it was dry. One of the biggest things I fucking hate about living in Seattle is how wet everything is. It's all wet, moist, it's goopy, it's fucking gross.
We're claiming it doesn't rain that often. It sure is wet.
There's just, it doesn't like rain that often, but everything's just always wet. It sucks.
So Seattle is like a set of panties at a Marine Corps birthday ball. It's just wet.
Yeah.
Yeah. I firmly believe the air should not have weight to it.
Yeah. I shouldn't
Like,
leave
what-
my air-conditioned home and feel like the air is thick.
Yeah, I always describe it as like it's walking out your door and feeling like somebody threw a blanket over you. It's just like,
Yeah.
That makes me want to die.
But I have to go to the store because I need some cigarettes and some beer.
Cigarettes. I wish I could have those.
They're pretty awesome.
Side thing, I don't think this will be the last time I do VR for background images.
Yeah, it doesn't seem as herky-jerky anymore now that we're like stabilized in front of it. Or your stabilization thing happened.
No, this came... The stabilization came after this. It's like well later.
You can be a boat captain,
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's
when
for
I was
trolling.
just watching, when you sent me the video and I was just watching it, it seemed a lot more herky-jerky than it does right now.
Yeah, it's not exactly stable. But, yeah, this was my first time on the boat. It's not exactly stable, but at the same time, it's not bad.
Are you going to be self-conscious about your head movement next time? Just out of curiosity.
Well, I've already played it since we've done that, and you're gonna see some of that footage, so...
Okay.
I thought about it at first, and then at some point, I just became immersed in it, and I completely forgot.
Yeah. Alright. I have another subject I want to cover. YouTube's new mobile update.
Yeah, I was wondering about this. What about it?
Now when I click on a video on my phone, it just full screens it. But it doesn't do the flip. It just goes full screen, even with like the little unflipped box like it would normally have. It's just here. Hold on. I'll show you an example.
I don't have that issue.
Still, it's just
something that won't give me away. Okay, perfect.
another thing in the long line of
Yeah, so it does that.
Oh yeah, I've seen it do that.
It does that every time now.
Hey guys,
Where
I
it
gotta
should
get on
just
my
do
tag.
that.
I need something. I'm sorry, but I must go.
Thanks for stopping by, Scott.
Damn you!
I love you, buddy.
Love you too. Bye.
Bye.
Yeah, it's very it's irritating.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember.
Just add that to the long list of here are some changes that we're going to make here at YouTube that no one asked for.
No one wants. Did you watch that video I posted in topics about YouTube being split in half?
No, I haven't had the chance to yet.
All right, we can talk about it another time, but like it's kind of along the same lines.
Yeah. What is it like? Mobile users versus PC users?
No.
What's the? Just give me like what's the split?
Algorithm versus organic.
Oh yeah. I could talk for days about that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Nasty algorithms.
Yeah. Oh, by the way, everybody, go to our YouTube, like and subscribe. Woo.
Click that bell notification.
I don't care about that. Just like and subscribe, that'd be cool. I've been getting a lot of followers on Twitter lately. It feels weird. I don't know what's
Oh, I'm
happening.
sure it does.
People are paying attention to me.
Yeah. I'm not used to getting attention. I grew up alone.
So he's like,
That's why I do
"Does
these
it,
things.
it's like, does it Jables have Sylvie? Shut up.
Yeah, here it's very herky-jerky. Or it was
Huh?
for a moment there.
Yeah.
The background. Yeah, it was very herky-jerky for a moment there. I think I had to adjust the headset, and that was part of the issue.
Really?
That's a saying that doesn't get used much anymore. Herky jerky.
Yeah, no, it's I don't know, maybe this is just like a study we can take into my psyche. Like I didn't get a lot of attention growing up, so I kind of crave it now, so I do things like this and a fucking comedy show to get attention. But whenever I do get attention, it fucking weirds me out at the same time. Like, why?
Because you didn't get it, so now it's weird.
Yeah. And there were several instances when I was a kid where I would get a lot of attention, but it was a build up to somebody bullying me. So
Yeah, those are always fun.
yeah, that's not traumatizing at all. All right. What else do we have on the list of things to do today?
Well, we can talk about some fun guys.
Oh, yeah. This is actually very interesting.
If you say so.
No, sir, I think even you would be interested in this. I'm gonna send you the link.
That's the computer telling me my battery is low noise.
Doesn't matter, you have to read this.
Hold on. I fucking do the thing. Oh yeah, I saw this. I do believe it was Y2K&W that brought this up.
Yes, it was. Thank you for tossing me some news suggestions, Y2K.
Ah, fuck off.
Unlike some other people, thank you for dropping it before we do the show, instead of while we're
Yeah.
doing the show.
And not being politics.
Yeah. Because this is actually
you're-
really cool and also terrifying at the same time.
Well, you're gonna have to do it, Jables,
Why?
because Forbes is shitty and doesn't want me to view the site.
Oh. Okay. This black fungus might be healing Chernobyl by drinking radiation, biologists explain. The explosion of the number 4 reactor of the Chernobyl nuclear power plant near Pripyat, Ukraine, on April 26, 1986, remains the worst nuclear disaster in human history. It left a 30-kilometer exclusion zone, a deserted landscape where high radiation levels remain even now, decades after the incident, where human settlement and habitation are restricted.
And this puts things a little into context, considering we dropped a couple of nuclear bombs on cities, and those are back and thriving now.
Yeah, those cities are doing great now.
Yeah.
So
Birthplace of
pretty.
anime.
They're so pretty. Within this zone, however, scientists have discovered an unlikely survivor, a resilient black fungus called Cladosporium sphaerospermum. After the Chernobyl disaster, scientists observed patches of black and gross on the walls of the number 4 reactor, fungi that seemed to thrive where the radiation was highest.
I heard black and gross instead of black and growth.
Yeah. Well, I'm racist, don't you know
Hey, mold is.
Oh, I know
For legal reasons, that's a joke. For legal reasons, that's a joke.
that? This fungus has adapted to a level of radiation that would be lethal for most life forms. Even more fascinating is its ability to feed on this radiation, using it as a source of energy, similar to how plants use sunlight for photosynthesis. This sounds like the beginning of a fucking horror movie.
I mean, fungus in general, if you really get into it, is like, fungus are not plants, and they're not animals either. They're something else entirely.
Yeah.
And they do some terrifying shit in nature.
Yeah. They're weird. When I was younger, I had a
Like zombifying ants.
I had a buddy that like wrote this whole story about how like there was some sort of like nuclear war and fungus sort of took over and became the main beings and sort of like anthropomorphized and stuff like that. And there was this fungus that was living on like an upper ice layer. And eventually discovered that there was a whole world under this ice layer.
They're
I didn't
coming
do
for you,
nothing.
Jables. What'd you do this time?
Woo.
Nothing. I'm exposing the truth. Yeah, and he and like the main character discovered that underneath this ice layer was like a whole world and stuff like that, and he was gonna make a whole cartoon about it. I saw like he made a bunch of storyboards to actually get it animated, and like I saw the scripts for it. It was really cool. It's a really cool idea. And knowing that I'm like 3 degrees from the people that make Smiling Friends means that I should probably contact him and see if he's still interested in doing that, because that might actually be a possibility now. Sorry. Weird sidetrack / realization right now. Anywho, further research discovered that fucking fungus, and some other black fungi species like Wangiella dermatitis and Cryptococcus neoformans possessed melanin, the pigment responsible for human skin color. However, In this fungi, the melanin served a different purpose. It absorbed radiation. So black people will survive the nuclear apocalypse? Never mind, I'm not going to make that joke. That's racist as fuck.
Our legal
I'm just
team
going
can
to
only
say
help so much.
cockroaches.
Oh my god.
I would like to say to the people watching, that was a terribly racist joke to make.
Can we interest you in hotel reservations?
And it's purely a joke.
Don't let him lie to you.
They're just there for the taking, you know? Much like the slaves that we brought over. It's remarkable how the adaptation that offers a glimpse into how life can flourish in some of the most extreme and hostile places on the planet. Yeah.
Oh man.
Yeah, Y2K. I did a little digging around. These are actually absorbing a lot of gamma radiation.
They just slurping up them G rays.
Yeah. Because they're G's.
Because they're G-men.
What if gamma rays is the fungus equivalent of G fuel? Do you think they all have sponsorships?
Oh, jeez. Oh, I'm not much of a G Fuel guy. I'm more of a Gamer Subs guy. I get J Schlatts titty milk.
Yeah, this stuff is Red Bull. It gives the fungus wings.
Yeah.
Horrors beyond human comprehension.
Yeah, Y2K, we're all... You know, could we call ourselves a science channel? Because we do cover science more than we cover, like, anything else.
Anything else.
We used to cover it a lot more.
Yeah. Well, there's a lot of cool shit out there. I was talking to somebody the other day, just like, what kind of stuff do you cover on your show? I'm like, well, there was this one time we were following this probe that the Japanese sent up that was a jumping probe to investigate an asteroid, and it was shooting bullets and like bowling balls and stuff into it to see what's inside. And they're like, what? I didn't know that was happening. And then I was like, yeah, there's this other time the Chinese sent up a probe to the moon to see if they could germinate a seed, and they were actually successful in doing that, which means we could colonize the moon. And they're like, I had no idea this was going on. So, yeah, okay. Yeah.
Not
There's
at all
cool
surprised.
shit going on in space, and nobody's paying attention. It's fucking annoying.
Yep.
I'm not surprised.
It feels like the U.S. made it to the moon, and everybody stopped giving a fuck.
Kind of what happened, actually.
Yeah, that is exactly what happened.
Fact, it's not entirely what happened, because Challenger accident, the fucking...
Well, the first rover to make
Columbia.
it to Mars, people cared about that. I do know that,
But yeah, like the Challenger accident, Columbia, a bunch of the Mars space probe rover deals that people cared about those. When
remember that one
was...
where somebody didn't do the calculations in meters, they did it in feet, and it just sort of just right into the surface of Mars.
You know, like, the thing is, it happened really quickly as well. Because Apollo 11 was the first successful manned mission to the moon. That's when we first set foot on it.
Yeah.
by Apollo 13, news networks found the concept so uninteresting that they wouldn't even carry the astronauts' broadcast.
That's bullshit.
It wasn't until
Yeah, but
they
that's-
were in a position where they were potentially going to die that the whole world started paying attention again.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it was looked at as routine by that point. Oh, we've done this twice. We know what we're doing. Nothing
Yeah,
can
like
go
a
wrong at this
couple
point.
years ago,
Guess
we finally
what,
got like
bitches?
real images of Pluto, and that was fucking dope.
Yep. And Pluto got downgraded to a microplanet.
Yeah, space gets these blips of interesting. It's kind of sad.
Well, hell, I think the last
Well,
time we talked about...
the development of the Japanese rover that jumps so it can navigate around an asteroid, that is fucking cool.
I think the last major space thing that we talked about was when we were talking about how NASA was trying to get together a team of like old scientists to reestablish contact with Voyager.
Yeah,
which is currently
right.
the farthest away from Earth that any man-made object has ever been.
okay, Y2K&W is talking about Neil deGrasse Tyson shit all over Elon Musk because Neil thinks there's no return on investment on going to Mars. That's the dumbest thing
Yeah, it was incredible.
Neil deGrasse Tyson has ever said.
Like, I mean,
But there's no return
technically
on investment necessarily, but there's
yeah, there's
a
no
return on
monetary
advancing our
return on
species.
investment. Yeah, there's no monetary return on investment.
yeah. It's fucking cool.
Yeah, like it's weird, like when you have like the guy who's like supposed to like champion science and like get the public interested in science, being it's like, oh, there's no fucking point in going to Mars.
Yeah. There's no point in me learning how to do a kickflip on a skateboard, but it's fucking cool.
You know, just like a lot of people don't realize that, mainly because nobody's talking about, but like, we're actually going back to the moon. NASA's working on that right now.
Yeah. And especially since we've proven that you can create biomes on the moon because China was able to germinate that seed on the dark side of the moon that one time. So that's like proof of concept that we can grow plants on the moon if we're in a bubble. But
Which means we can do it on Mars with a little bit of modification.
potentially, we don't necessarily know that yet. We'd have to run that experiment. But yes, potentially we could.
Well, so the big thing about the moon was they had to have a sealed environment because there's no atmosphere.
Yeah.
And it was on the far side of the moon, if I remember correctly. So it was 30 days and 30 every single day on the moon is about 28 days on Earth. So you've got half of that day, half of that night. And they were still able to germinate the shit. The moon is going to be slightly different, but if you can set up an enclosed area with climate control, you'll be able to do it. It's possible, not confirmed, not even experimented on yet, but theoretically it's possible we could grow plants on Mars itself.
Yeah.
Yeah, but like
Neil deGrasse Tyson, you're too hung up on Earth, and you're not hung up, and you're like too dismissive of cool shit. Let's go to fucking Mars, dude. Let's have fun.
like,
It could also
that
be
thing I was talking
it could
about-
also be politically motivated
Yeah, that's possible.
or ideologically motivated, but I don't really want to touch in that.
I don't like Elon Musk. I like a lot of cool shit that he's done. Selling the flamethrowers was fucking awesome. Even though they were just essentially overhyped, like roofing torches. And
Weed burners, yeah.
yeah.
Starlink is legitimately something to be celebrated, in my opinion.
Starlink is dope as fuck. Him being able to re-land rockets so that we don't have to have only one-use rockets anymore is insanely
Not only that, but
fundamental to like how we will expand space travel. Like that is fucking insane.
like not only that, like the Starship is a super heavy lift vehicle. It is the largest and most powerful craft ever created by mankind.
Yeah, and they were able to land it back.
Reusable.
Yeah. Yeah. Nobody seems to take in the gravitas of like how insanely progressive in science that is. It's fucking awesome.
Someone you hate can still have good ideas.
Yeah. I think Tesla's great. Jumped us like 15 to 20 years in EV, electronic vehicle technology.
I think Teslas themselves are not great, but they really drove a lot of the production that we've seen.
Yeah.
I will make an exception for the Tesla Roadster. That one's actually cool. But they don't make that anymore.
The thing I was talking about earlier, that I mentioned earlier, is called the Artemis program.
Yeah.
And the goal of the Artemis program is the creation of the Lunar Gateway Station.
Oh, where it's like a midpoint that we launch from?
NASA is currently working on trying to assemble a space station in the moon's orbit.
Nice. I'm down for it, because it'd be better for, like, long-distance travel stuff to launch from the moon as opposed to from Earth. It takes so much fuel to escape Earth's gravity.
And I think the first flights for Artemis are actually going to start this coming year.
Nice. Yeah, we'll pay attention to that.
They've even developed their own new super heavy lift vehicle for the program.
Nice.
Yeah, baby. We're going back to the moon.
Yeah. There's cool stuff happening in space. It's just nobody's paying attention to it.
Yeah, I'm kind of wishing that I had Starlink now.
Yeah.
If it weren't so expensive to get into, I would honestly consider it.
I haven't even looked into it. But I agree with you. I hate Comcast so much. If Starlink was viable, I'd switch over.
Well, cost effective. The big thing would be cost effective.
It was a big help during Hurricane Helene, getting communications out in rural places.
Yeah. And here's the thing. I don't like Elon Musk, but he's done a lot of cool shit. And I can't discount him on that. And for everybody on Twitter, stop telling Elon he's funny. He's not. He has some good ideas, and he gets the right people to work on it. He's very good at that.
I don't know.
Yeah, so for I'm just looking it up now. It looks like Starlink for a household is about $140 a month. If you get it for like your RV or camper or something like that, it's as long as you're inland, you're looking at $80 a month.
Okay.
That's not terrible.
Yeah, but what are the speeds?
I'd probably have to get the 139 per the 140 per month plan just because I have people here. But yeah, Jables, you could probably get away with Rome at 80 bucks a month. But that doesn't include the payment for the equipment, so I don't know.
Yeah, that would only save me like $7 a month, and I don't know what the speeds are. So, Y2K Musk has supervillain money and is not doing supervillain stuff. That's a bonus. Yeah, it is. Jeff Bezos has supervillain money and seems to be acting kind of like a supervillain.
I mean, he greenlit the Rings of Power. What else do you want me to say?
Yeah.
Oh, I see what's going on. I actually went to the website Rome. It starts out at $50 a month for 50 gigabytes, but you can get unlimited for $165 a month. So I stand corrected. Although the likelihood of using 50 gigabytes in a month is not exceedingly high, depending on what you're doing.
Yeah, like, you have to be, like, serious content creator to start getting into those areas.
Yeah.
I used 10 gigs today, though, on my phone.
Yeah.
Doing mobile hotspot so I could actually watch some shit on my computer. So, like, depending on what you're doing, you can go do it pretty quick.
Yeah, I'm doing a lot of shit. I'm always on the internet. So. Alright. You guys want to do an Am I the Asshole or like Dear Abby thing?
Man, it's been a while. It's been a while.
So I'm still on Starlink, and I just learned something kind of incredible. There are areas where Starlink is sold out.
Damn.
Yep, it's gotten pretty in demand.
Rimshee, I don't remember which ones we've covered or not. Sir, if you could look through news articles and find one that we haven't covered, that'd be great.
Yeah, I'm pulling that back up.
But you have to remember, I wasn't here for 2 weeks, so if you guys did stuff the last 2 weeks, I wouldn't know.
I just got to get stuff on moved over to the description on YouTube, and then I can delete that and start looking. We could talk about public domain. Florida man. We could talk about the Florida teacher.
Yeah, but that's not.
I was leaning towards the advice column stuff.
Yeah. Oh, I'm just mentioning it because it was the first one I looked at.
We could talk about public domain, maybe next week.
There's this spoiled child.
Yeah.
The undervalued husband.
There's the sister stealing my weight life wedding ring.
Oh, we did that one.
Okay, I didn't know.
Yeah, because that was fucked.
Yeah. There's the divorce and the apartment. Worst place to propose.
Yeah, let's do that one.
Worst place to propose? All right.
Yeah. sir. I'll send you a link. You should be able to do this one.
Yeah, I can still
Yeah,
read
it's the
article,
Daily
even though
Mail.
It's got a big thing in my face. I can still read the article, though, assholes. Dear Lesser Saints, my boyfriend proposed in the worst place imaginable, so I had to say no. Dear Lesser Saints, my boyfriend and I are both in our late 20s, and we've been together for more than 3 years. Over the past few months, I've had a feeling that he might propose soon, although I didn't know for certain. His family lives in Florida, and we planned a quick trip to visit there for his mom's 60th birthday celebration last week. Whoop. But on the last day of our trip, my boyfriend insisted we spend the day at Disney World in Orlando, just the two of us. I have to say, I found this bizarre. I'm not a huge fan of theme parks and had no idea that he was either. But I went along with the excursion nonetheless and was happy to stroll around the resort, eat some junk food, and go on a few rides. However, as the sun was setting, my boyfriend did the unthinkable, and as we stood in the shadow of Cinderella's castle, he got down on one knee and proposed. I was utterly humiliated. People around us began to clap and cheer, some were even taking pictures and videoing us. I immediately tried to drag him up off the floor so we could flee from the public humiliation, but he joked that he wasn't budging until he got an answer, so I said no. We left the park immediately and drove back to his family home in silence. As you can imagine, things have been awkward since. I love my boyfriend so much, but I am questioning everything now. He chose to propose me in a place that is not only humiliating, but has no significance to either of us or our relationship. What do I do? From Disney Disaster.
Okay, I've got thoughts on this. As the only person who has proposed to someone in this group.
Bullshit.
Now that Skup's not here.
I've proposed to somebody.
Yeah, but over the internet doesn't count. There's a huge difference between, hey, I'm on camera.
Yeah,
here's
actually,
a ring
Rimshee, I'm
box.
pretty sure I proposed to you at one point.
I think so. So, quick blurb. How I proposed to my wife was, it was on May 4th, and we were watching Star Wars, and I waited till the medal ceremony at the end of A New Hope, and I spun off the couch and proposed to her. We don't need to get into too much detail, but just understand that that's what I did. She wasn't expecting it, and she was very excited, to the point that she didn't actually answer me right away, and thought she had.
Wait.
But-
Was her reaction like, oh my god? And just like,
no,
grabbed the ring?
her reaction was like crying, like, oh! She thought she had put her hand out to put the ring on, but she's sitting there like, oh my god! Are you serious?
Got so caught up in the moment that she didn't realize what was happening.
That's really
She didn't
cute.
realize she thought it was a couple of seconds. For me, it felt like fucking 5 years.
I bet. Yeah, my brother-in-law, he proposed to my sister at the Indianapolis Zoo.
Yeah.
And she was the only one that didn't know because a bunch of us were there, like a bunch of close family.
So,
And
but
like,
anyway,
first, like, she saw all of us like standing around, like smiling at her, and she's like, "Well, let's go." And then she turned around, saw him getting down on one knee, and then she quickly put together what was happening.
Yeah.
but here's the thing. The whole reason I bring that up is, I knew not to do it in public. I knew that she wasn't expecting it. And, I did it at the right spot for us.
Mm.
my cousin, when he proposed to his, at the time, girlfriend, he did it on a hike. And they went out to the middle of nowhere. That's something they like doing. And he actually thought about what they like doing, and he did it then. It's pretty simple to sit there and think about the person you're getting married to.
Yeah,
it sounds like he didn't know her well enough to know not to do it in public, or at least not in public at a theme park.
Yeah. Like,
yeah,
the reason
that's what I was
up...
getting to. Like, if you don't know the right time and place to propose to somebody, you don't know each other well enough. And they've been together like 3 years. You know, maybe communicate a bit more with each other for one.
You see,
and maybe
the
he
reason...
thought it would be really cute because he saw a bunch of people doing it online. So like maybe he's just an idiot. Like,
yeah,
like the reason I brought up my sister and my brother-in-law is because, like, the Indianapolis Zoo, that's a very public place. It's a zoo. But the thing is that, like, she was surrounded by a bunch of people that she knew when it happened. It wasn't all just a bunch of strangers.
Yeah, that's another factor.
Because he had invited all of us to bear witness.
Yeah, let's go together alone, none of our families with us, just the two of us. First off, that's... I mean, if you're both into theme parks, if you're both into Disney, that would not be that out of the blue. But it sounds like, to her, she was like, why are we doing this? That doesn't...
Yeah, it really sounds like she didn't give a shit about going to Disney World. Which,
like, let's say... Make me a woman.
No, I'm not doing the surgery.
Fine. But let's say I'm a woman. Somebody wants to propose to me. Taking me to Harry Potter World and proposing to me there. Fucking perfect. Like, that's a good move.
But yeah,
she doesn't give a fuck about Disney.
I think
what happened let's
here.
Just have fun.
I think what happened here is he fell victim to the online stuff about, hey, you got to do it publicly. It's got to be a big deal, and he just took that at face value.
Special thing.
Yeah, he took that at face value and didn't actually read into it at all to realize, hey, the big deal is because it's either something important to you or something related to your relationship. He just went, oh, big thing, big place, public place, cool.
Yeah, it'll be a good story for how we got engaged, blah, blah, blah. But it's... No, the best story is like your story, where you waited for the award ceremony at the end of a Star Wars movie, and you were like, now's the time. And you did that privately.
I mean, there's so much more behind it.
It's a very cute story.
Like, she called, immediately after, she called her mom crying, and her mom goes, what's wrong? No, this is good.
You cut out a bit there.
Yeah, I couldn't hear you, bud.
She says she's crying, and she goes, no, this is good crying.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Your noise
like,
set a little too low, Ben.
This reminds me, like...
Nothing. Good things happened. I'm crying out of joy.
Yeah.
But honestly, one of the big things is, and this is just kind of how I feel, so people can take it or leave it, and it's probably not going to be accurate to how everyone thinks. But if you do the big public proposal, unless you know that that's what she wants, it really feels like it's an attempt to go, okay, I dare you to say no, because there's all this public, and it's going to be humiliating for both of us. You've got to say yes, because there's all these people cheering. It feels like it's being manipulative almost. That's how I
there's
feel.
there's a very famous video. I don't know if you guys have seen it, but it happened at a Toronto Raptors basketball game.
Oh, I know which one you're talking about.
Yeah. Where she fucking rejects him on the Jumbotron and then, like, flees the stadium in tears.
Yeah.
It just leaves him there.
My former brother-in-law proposed to my sister in the place that they met. It's just like it was the back patio of a local bar. And he actually rented it out as a private party, but all the regulars, were allowed in. So it just seemed like a normal day at the bar.
Yeah.
But
oh wow, there's a dearth of new people here. Okay.
Yeah, no, there was nobody new. It was just all local regulars. Everybody else knew. And he proposed to her in the same spot that they first met. At this
Yeah,
time.
that's cool.
Yeah. And it was with all of their friends and all of the neighborhood, like just sort of there to.
Anyway, maybe we should get back to the point of this. The
Hold on.
advice for her.
I have to bring it up now.
Fair enough.
Because of all these stories. And then you just have the complete spontaneity, any place will do type story.
Yeah.
And that's my mom and dad. My dad proposed to my mom in his friend's bathroom.
I don't know how my dad proposed to my mom, but I do know that my dad was already engaged to somebody else, and my mom was like, "Hey, I'm moving to Portland. We can hook you up with a job and a place if you want to go." And my dad broke off his engagement and moved to Portland, and that's how my parents got together.
My dad's dad told my grandmother that he was dying.
I'll be right back.
Yeah. Sorry, what was that, sir? I didn't catch that because.
I'm gonna wait for Rimshee to come back. Oh, my dad's dad, my grandpa on my dad's side, he told my grandmother that he was dying.
Nice.
It's kind of a dick move on his part, especially seeing as how their marriage would end up ending. But yeah, people are just different.
Well,
back
he
then.
wasn't wrong. Just was a little ahead of schedule. I can hear you guys just fine, by the way, so you didn't have to wait for me.
Well,
Yeah,
no,
but-
because we want your commentary. That's why we wait for
Oh.
you.
Fair enough.
All right.
All right. Well, hold on.
we
real
don't
quick
wait
before
for
we
you
get to-
because we don't know that you can't hear us. We wait for
the
you because
advice-
we want you to be a part of the conversation. Jesus
The
Christ.
advice I would give to this woman, really sit there and think if this is if this was a deal breaker, if this is just like he doesn't know me, or you probably should talk to him, figure out what he was thinking, because maybe it's just simple as this is what this is what all the information I got online. This is what all the online suggestions
I think
were.
there's another thing that we need to consider as well. She tried to defuse the situation.
Yeah.
She tried to get him up and go to a more private spot, and he refused to do so.
Yeah,
But
but that might
I ain't
be
moving
that
until
might be
you answer me.
like that might be internet brain rot. To this is what I'm
Still, though.
supposed to do. So yeah, you need to talk to him. Have a conversation with him. Just be like, "Hey,
I don't think she did anything wrong
yeah,
here.
Well, she says she still loves him so much, and maybe talk to him about hey, I want you to propose to me in a way that makes it special for us, not
Yeah. Like, well,
in
either
a
way,
crowd and stuff. Not like
either
something
way,
that you
this is
see
going to
online, something
require
that's
a
important
conversation.
to us. Yeah.
Either way, this is going to require a conversation. Unless you just decide, no, if he doesn't know me well enough, this is over. In which case, that's fine. But
She loves
I would
him. They're gonna
suggest
stay
a
together, but
conversation.
You need to talk. You need to
Yeah.
talk. You need to get to know each other better. You've been together 3
Yeah,
years.
obviously there's some issue there. In terms of either him getting to know you or just a miscommunication, or maybe he misunderstood. I don't know. No matter what, your best suggestion is to sort it out. Work together.
It's like, if you guys have been steady for 3 years and he doesn't have enough of a read on you to understand how you would have felt about this, then there's been a failure of communication at some point.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, we can continue on with the rest of this.
All right, let's figure out what Jane has to say on this matter.
Because she has such a great track record with us.
This fucking bitch. We like a week or two ago, we covered one of her things. She is anti-man in all of the subtext.
Narcissistic.
Yeah. Dear Disney Disaster, we are all human and doing the best we can. Even so, we still make mistakes. When people we love mess up, rather than hold it against them, it is best to find the grace to forgive them. It's important to remember that their intention was always good, even if the end result was not what we wanted. The fact is, your boyfriend loves you and was trying to find a memorable way to propose. It wasn't what you had in mind, nor did the setting hold any special significance, but this is not something I would hold against him. In fact, if you confide in yourself to forgive him, this could be something you will laugh about together for many years to come. He was doing the best he could, and you should try to focus on the fact that he loves you enough to propose in a public place, which is a very courageous thing to do, irrespective of where he did it. I really kind of don't like where this is going.
I don't
It's also kind of
necessarily
the
disagree
opposite
with her
of the
this
last
though.
one. Yeah.
like, I feel like there's more that she could say here, though.
Yeah, she
Well, if
went
does
on
say
a
more,
massive
there's, like,
rant
3
last
more
time.
lines.
Yeah, it's like, I have to imagine that as humiliated as you were, he was equally humiliated by your trying to drag him away and then saying no. Yeah, but he also forced the issue.
Yeah.
A proposal takes just a few minutes and matters far less than a marriage, which is hopefully for a lifetime. By all means, tell your boyfriend why you were upset, but frankly, this is eminently forgivable and certainly should not color how you move forward.
Yeah, pretty much our advice.
Yeah. Although we said have a conversation and then you'll have to decide if this is a deal breaker. But same basic vibe.
Yeah,
Close
I
enough.
think there should be more emphasis on the y'all need to talk aspect, but
Yeah. It's kind of the polar opposite of last time she had she had a response on this show.
Oh, dude, we fucking hate it. Which one was that? Was that the wedding ring one?
No, I don't think so.
Here, let me look at our list.
boy, we have a list.
Yeah, you have access to the list, dude.
Yeah, look for dailymail.uk. Dear Jane.
Oh, was it the girlfriend? It was the makeup. It was the makeup one, I think.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, that one was very much self-insert, whereas this one was actually, hey, here's advice.
Yeah, that one was like, let your girlfriend be a girl boss. You don't fucking matter. I hate men. This one was more like,
nuance.
guys, you need to grow in your relationship. Like, he did it wrong place, wrong time.
Damn, I missed an interesting one.
Yeah.
Yeah, you did.
Yeah, that one was insane. We gave infinitely better advice on that one.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
hands down.
It couldn't be helped.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, twice. She gave 0 advice. We gave 1 advice. That's a vast difference.
Yeah.
Holy shit!
What?
Undoomed has another video out.
Seriously? It's like 3 in the past month.
Well, I saw you posted one earlier today. And did you
Yeah,
just
that's the
post
one I
another
just saw.
Yeah.
Yeah, 3 hours ago, posted a video.
All right.
God damn. I saw him doing a stream the other day with fucking Magog. I'm like, holy shit, I haven't thought about Magog in years. And then he did a very Undoomed thing where he fell asleep with his stream still running.
Nice. Classic Undoomed. Yeah. Well, I guess it's been our show.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Perfect timing, too. I only have like 7 minutes of footage left.
Nice. Thank you, everybody that joined us. YGK&W. Daisy, what's your face?
Thank you once again, Y2K, for providing an article.
Yes,
Yeah.
thank you for the article. That was actually super interesting.
We didn't finish it, but it was just really cool.
Yeah. We didn't need to finish it. That article was going to go on forever. You know that.
Oh, yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. It's a science article.
It inspired us to talk about how space is interesting and nobody's talking about it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it also leads us to maybe we could coat spacecraft with the fungus and it will eat all the radiation and prevent radiation from leaking into the spacecraft. Who knows?
Yeah, who knows?
Or we create
Anyways.
fungus men.
We could use it as shielding in nuclear reactors.
Yeah.
No, that's
Question
what you
is
do
it-
is you put the
is it-
spores in reactors, and if you see it start to grow, it's like, oh, we got a leak.
Yeah.
All right.
All right. Have a good night, everybody. Thanks for joining us. Follow me on Twitter. Like and subscribe on
So-
YouTube. Whatever.
Sorry we
Good to be
were a
back,
half hour
everybody.
late. Hopefully we won't be next time.